The Disney Whistleblower story. Over the past 2 weeks, it has generated over 1.5 million views on this channel. We've been a leader in giving you the facts as best we can, telling you exactly what's going on. Balls and strikes here, and we're definitely not political. Today, we're going to share with you a new corroboration of what the whistleblower had to say and tell you how it could change the next CEO of Disney. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we, as ever, endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve. Politics is not what we do, except when it intersects with the industry we cover, and that is indeed all the stuff that should be fun, entertainment. Today, we're going to the Disney company yet again to talk about this whistleblower situation. There is another wrinkle in it. Folks, as we get ready to handle the topic once more with the excellence you desire, we ask that you simply click that like button. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that we are not, again, a partisan channel. We don't dive into politics. If you're coming here for that, wrong place, because we here on the Pro Channel constantly call for Disney to return to the sensible center, the mainstream middle. And we oftentimes tell entertainment to get out of woke. And no, I don't think that woke is a typical political position. I think it's a quasi-religious thing that throws away meritocracy and attacks the patriarchy, and none of that is part of a healthy political debate. That is not classical liberalism. It's not classic conservatism. It's a communist new age, what shall we say? Oh, crusade. How's that for you? A cult, if you will. Yes, I'm sticking with that. Out of thatparkplace.com, let's do a quick run through of the whistleblower, the story, what the heck it is. And by the end, folks, you'll see that this is, it's a huge gamble for Disney. Starting with that Park Place, all the way back on September 16th, this is when this started. Disney's likely next CEO, Dana Walden, draws controversy over comments and whistleblower. It says Dana Walden is viewed by many as the presumptive next CEO for the Walt Disney Company once Bob Iger transitions to his next phase of career with the House of Mouse. We're going to come back to Dana Walden in a moment. She's really, really, really good friends with Kamala Harris. Okay, no problem with that. She's introduced Kamala to her husband. They've been besties for decades. They like each other, and they probably agree with the same political viewpoints. Whatever you make of that, you can like it, you can dislike it. I'm not here to tell you what to do with it, but that's Dana Walden. Well, they had a debate. You might remember that. The debate that was on ABC many weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I guess, 3 weeks ago, the debate. It was a big debate, right? They want another debate now. Not sure we're going to get another debate. Don't think it's going to happen, but there was a big debate. And one candidate was fact-checked or interrupted about 17 times and the other 0. Now, you can like that. You can dislike it. I'm not here to tell you what to think about it. I'm just here to say there was a categorical difference in the way that the two candidates were treated. You can say that's appropriate or inappropriate. That's for you. You have a very high IQ. I trust you to figure out what you think about it, okay? So, Dana Walden then is asked about the idea that something was amiss because a whistleblower, an alleged whistleblower, had come out and said that there was something amiss. Now, folks, if you've been watching the channel for weeks, you know some of this. You can skip a little bit ahead. It'll be okay. But for those who don't know, we've got a show. Here's what Dana Walden said when she was asked specifically about the allegations that the fix was in and Disney had been involved in colluding with one candidate. Here's what they had to say. Again, not political. We'll get to how this impacts Disney, the company, in just a moment.
Got to talk about Kamala Harris. Obviously, the far right has come after you, saying you're friends with her, so the debate was biased. What do you say to that?
I really don't want to dignify it with much of a response. I have the highest regard for everyone at ABC News. It's the most professional organization, the most top-notch journalists, and it doesn't really dignify much of a response.
In the words of Kermit the Frog, moving right along, folks. Go to September 19th. Whistleblower fiasco. U.S. Senator demands Disney release all communications with Kamala Harris campaign. You can see this got very fiery. We're not going to go into this article. Just know that that's the level it had risen to. Congress was calling for a statement, for some investigatory power over this. And then we go to September 22nd when things got weird. Weird, we know. September 22nd, that park place. I'm the author on all these, by the way, trying to give you the information as best we can. Disney whistleblower allegedly files official complaint with the SEC. Why that's strange. Now, I want to say that before this article came out, ABC and Disney had largely corroborated much of what the whistleblower was claiming. So the Disney moderators came out. That's David Muir, and I forget the other name, the lady's name, Lindsay Davis. That's it. They had come out and they had said, well, we prepared. We had meetings to prepare to fact check. And then they said the motivation. The motivation was they didn't like the way the CNN debate went, and they were prepared to make sure that outcome didn't happen again. Thus, they were prepared to do the fact checking. Okay. Well, that corroborates a huge part of what the whistleblower had said. The only thing that's really left there beyond is there's some sort of monetary gain for Disney on the table, and then also that there were secret audio tapes of Disney or ABC conspiring to damage one campaign and lift the other up. Now, none of that's illegal. I want to say that. None of it's illegal. Might be dirty, might be unethical, might be a travesty to the democratic process, but it's not illegal. So the whistleblower then goes to the SEC in September 22nd. We report on it. Goes to the SEC, and we said, well, that's weird. And it was really funny too when I put this article out. I actually put this out right before the Valiant Renegade show went live. Ron Coleman was on there, and they were reading this article, and you could see Valiant Renegade and Ron Coleman were nervous to read this because they were worried I might have gotten something wrong. And I was encouraging them in the background, guys, it's okay. We're completely in sync. And so they read it. It says, in what appears to be a coordinated communication effort between a number of conservative political activists online, the whistleblower's allegations have been filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, a federal agency that oversees corporate activities. That's strange, given inappropriate coordination with political parties would not typically be within the purview of the SEC. And I go into why this is bizarre. And you can see some of the conservative individuals who are carrying this, and you can make your own determination about what you think about it. Go through right here what the whistleblower had alleged and what's made this story worth reporting. And I'll go ahead and read these again. The roadmap of when the whistleblower's documents would be released had been accurate at the time of this publish. The posted affidavit had all the hallmarks of being a legitimate legal document. And the Walt Disney Company's direct response to the allegations had been somewhat nebulous and lacking in specificity. You heard Dana Walden say, below her dignity. Disney came out with a statement, by the way, that did not directly address what the whistleblower was alleging. Okay? So, but turning into the SEC an official complaint online, not impressive because the SEC doesn't handle any of that, and they're not going to handle it. Later on, we would find out, by the way, that the whistleblower turned in their report to, I think, the FEC, maybe the FCC. None of that's going to matter. None of it's going to matter. Those departments in the United States, they're in simpatico with Biden and Harris, and you can like that again or you can dislike it, but they are, and nothing is going to come of those complaints. Always this has been about, is the whistleblower going to release the supposed corroborating secret audio files that will prove Disney was in bed with a particular candidate? And again, it's not illegal. It's just, it would be hugely damaging to Disney and put them in a very bad light with at least half of the population. And it would, if the election goes in a particular direction, could put them in a bad place for news reporting, could cause them to be viewed as not newsworthy or credible. Okay, so let's go to the latest stuff. You've been waiting, right? Listen, we got to run through this. This is a huge story just to untie the knots of what all happened here. I hope I've done a fair job for you. All right. Fox News carrying this. And I know some of you don't like Fox News, and I know some of you love Fox News, and I know most of you are somewhere in between. We got to deal with what we got to deal with because we're in an election cycle, and some of the news sources out there, they're not going to report on this, and others, they're going to report on it, but you can't really, a little dubious. We're going to go with Fox News. Our options here are limited, and I don't have a problem with Fox. Just like I often put CNN here on the channel, we try to play ball with all sides. It says Trump hits ABC News lightweight David Muir, accuses network of violating debate agreement with fact checks. Now, this came out September 26th, late, okay? So we're a few days behind this, but I wanted to bring it to you and show it to you. Let me show you, because nobody's covering it the way I'm about to. I promise. Speaking from Trump Tower in New York City on Thursday, Trump renewed his attacks on the Disney-owned network while addressing crime at the campaign event. I want to say, too, not here to be political. You've heard me say that now over and over. I'm here to talk about the implications for Disney because it's the biggest entertainment company in the world. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Here's Trump's allegations. Now, I can't tell you if this is true or not. Don't blame me. Keep your tomatoes away. Okay? I'm here to tell you what he said. You decide what you think about it. And during the debate, I mentioned that David Muir, a real lightweight, Trump said, I had 1 against 3, but I think we did great. But David Muir of ABC, fake news, when I said that crime is way up in our country, he corrected me, and so much, and it was right what I said. He didn't correct Harris one time, and what she said was wrong, absolutely wrong, so many different. She was wrong, all of the different things, almost everything she said, and she was never corrected. But he corrected me on crime. He said, no, crime has not gone up. Right, so I'm reading that to you so you have the full context, okay? This is the paragraph that matters. Trump went on to allege that ABC News broke the deal. They had struck head of the debate. Now, we have speculated strongly that ABC News broke the rules because they were supposed to be using the exact same rules as CNN. And in the CNN debate, nobody was allowed to fact check except for the candidates. Okay, so we surmised that the same rules were in place for ABC and that ABC broke the rules. Now, one of the candidates is saying that Disney broke the rules. Says, now you don't know this, but we had a deal with ABC that there will be no corrections of any kind, and they violated the deal. Why? Because they're bad people and they're fake news. So he did it many times to me during the debate. He violated the deal. And pause there because Trump is not exactly right about this. It's not that he violated the deal. They planned it, and we know that now because Lindsay Davis told Los Angeles Times or the LA Post. I don't know, but she told somebody in Los Angeles, you can go look it up, the interview. She told them the motivation behind it, and they had planned meetings. They prepared for fact checking. It was all in from the company. There's no way they did this without the higher ups knowing about it. There's no way that they had coordinated, rehearsals on fact checking and did it to one candidate. So it's not that he violated the deal. Disney violated the deal. If the deal exists, I don't know. I'm just reporting this to you. All right. The former president says that's the deal because you can take anything and try to make up stories with it. We had a deal where that wouldn't happen. You could go do whatever you wanted as soon as the debate was over, but he did it in total violation of whatever agreement was. And a lot of people standing right over there will tell you exactly what it was. We'll show you what it was. David Muir has lost all credibility. Okay. Now, we've been a long, long way to get to this point for me to tell you this. This is the end of the whistleblower story, unless the secret audio files are released, if they exist. And if those are released and if they corroborate what has been said, then Disney will be put forth into the light of the public opinion, right? So Disney will face then they'll face scrutiny from the entire society. If Disney, doesn't have some sort of corroborating audio files there, we're about 90% of all the whistleblowers' allegations they're out there now. So I don't know what else there could be. It seems like the whistleblower pretty much got it right. And we can debate about it. And you can say, well, the people who brought it, I don't like them and they're stinky and they have stinky, smelly opinions. Okay, fine. Most of the stuff that the whistleblower said now is pretty much true, I guess. The moderators have accepted and agreed, and they practiced, they prepared. It was all part of the plan. We've got the former president saying that the deal was in place. They broke the deal. You've got Disney not exactly refuting. So the only things left are the whistleblower had alleged that sample questions were given to the Harris campaign that basically matched what the real questions were. We don't know that yet. We might not ever know it. And then the other thing is that there was secret collusion behind the scenes with the Harris campaign. Okay. Pragmatically, everything that would come from that came out and is out there now. Okay, so why does this matter? Why am I covering this again? Well, it's because Disney now faces a really interesting scenario. If Harris wins and Dana Walden is the presumptive next CEO, and I'll show you this too. We'll pull this up. Have this ready to go in just a moment. But if Walden is the next CEO of the company, she's besties with Kamala, and they threw Kamala a major assist. It's pretty much confirmed now. So if that happens, then Disney's in a great spot. You can like it, you can not like it, but they'd be in a great spot. Heck of a gamble. If Harris doesn't win, Disney's in a strange place. Because at that point, they are the least liked news agency in a future White House. If it goes down this way, they will have so little ability to talk to anybody in the executive branch that it would be ridiculous. I mean, they will have crippled their news organization in very serious ways. Not only that, I would anticipate you would see congressional oversight and investigations into Disney, although they haven't done anything to my knowledge that's illegal in this regard. And then also, you would probably see Disney seriously rethink who their next CEO is going to be. Because Dana Walden's going to be really, really, really unpopular with the controlling party in power. And that's why Dana Walden is the presumptive next CEO, is because she's got the inside hook when it comes to Kamala. I want to show you this. This is out of Ankler. It says, Disney CEO rivals, pitting record versus record. Bergman, Walden, Pitaro, tomorrow. I dig into each. Oh man, that's really difficult to say. Eaches. You know what? That should not be a word if it is a word. Data to handicap the horse race. Okay. Thank you, Ankler, for throwing me a new English that I did not even know existed, and now hope it never does before. We can't read in this, folks. I've got the link down in the video description if you want to check it out. But I'll just show you, okay? We've got Pitaro, we've got Walden, we've got Bergman, and we've got tomorrow. None of these people should be the next CEO of the company, and it's for obvious reasons. Let's run through them. Pitaro is the head of ESPN, and that's it. And being the head of ESPN is not sufficient to be the CEO of the biggest entertainment corporation in the world, nor does he have any experience whatsoever in theme parks, and Disney is essentially a theme park company. Dana Walden is presiding over a streaming business that is something like $100 billion in the hole, despite the fact that they don't want you to know that. And as we reported yesterday in a video, Disney is losing market share. By the way, that's also on That Park Place if you want to go check it out. Article came out on Saturday. Disney's losing market share and, frankly, facing off against the competitor that is Tubi. Tubi might beat them, right? Disney wants to take on Netflix and YouTube. Yeah, right. They can't hardly fend off Tubi. So Dana Walden, the only reason she should be CEO is if she's besties with Kamala, and Kamala becomes president. Because then, well, you know, being best friends with the president, that's something, isn't it? So Bergman has watched over the collapse of the box office for Disney. There's been some resurgence, but that is one win in Inside Out 2 that's under his belt. And the other one, no, sir. Deadpool and Wolverine was approved under Bob Chapek, the former very hastily removed CEO who tried to moderate the company. And it was largely done by Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds, who were working independently of Marvel and Disney. So, no, you've got one win in the last 3 years. It has been flop after flop after flop in 2023, and Marvel looks to be struggling again next year. Bergman's been behind all of that. And finally, tomorrow has not done well with the parks by any stretch of the imagination. So, if you're asking me, who is the presumptive next CEO of Disney? It depends on the election. And the only reason that Dana Walden is the presumptive CEO is if Kamala wins. And if she doesn't win, if it's a Trump administration, then I think Disney should find someone who's not in this picture. And that means an outsider. So if you're asking me, does the whistleblower story matter in terms of the Walt Disney Company, the biggest entertainment corporation in the world? You better believe it matters. However, this is probably the end, because putting out secret audio files would very much jeopardize this individual who is the alleged whistleblower. And I don't know that they're telling the truth. I just know that maybe they got really lucky and everything's been corroborated, basically 90% of it, right? But if that whistleblower puts out those audio files, pretty dangerous, I would think. Really, really dangerous, in fact. It's up to them. Most people in this world are not whistleblowers. 99.9% of people really don't want to stick their necks out for that sort of thing. There are very principled individuals who decide to take a stand, and they're to be praised and respected and protected. But it's tough. It's tough to be a whistleblower, and people don't understand when you get to that level just how dangerous and how nerve-wracking it would be to put your life, your career, your family's future all on the line to do that. So I don't anticipate personally that the audio files will come out. They could, and I don't have any inside information whatsoever, and I haven't tried to get any kind of information about this. But I don't suspect it will happen. Pragmatically, though, it really doesn't matter that much, because we basically now know almost all of the things the whistleblower said were pretty much true. And that's where Disney is right now. It's a huge gamble. The Disney company's health and fortitude going forward, especially in the news organization level, it all is a roll of the dice on who wins this upcoming election. On one side, you've got a CEO, presumably, who's besties with the president. And on the other side, you're going to be under investigation for years, as best I can tell. What a play by Disney. What a play. But it seems to have been the case. Folks, that's the video for the day. We hope you enjoyed it. We've got 2 more on the way, though. And we say thrice is nice, so we'll bring them to you. Folks, until the next time, click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And you know what we say on the way out the door. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have thunk?